Dad and I have created ourselves as managers in Football Manager, and we are going to simulate 40 seasons to see who has the better career. However, there of course is a slight twist. Every 5 years, we'll be spinning a wheel full of great or detrimental things that could happen to a manager's career. But we have a point system as well to determine an ultimate winner, of course, and decide who has been the better manager. But we are starting in non-league football as the managers of Oldham Athletic and Chesterfield in the Vanarama National League. Dad, here is our two managers at the start of our illustrious, hopefully, managerial career.
Yeah.
You are starting off as the manager of Chesterfield, and as you can see, we have identical current and potential abilities. And then here is me as the Oldham manager. So they look rather similar right now, but it's obviously all going to play out very differently. These are AI managers that we have kind of some control over. Now let me explain, because every 5 years we are going to be spinning a wheel. This is the wheel that we're going to be spinning. It has 16 different outcomes on the wheel, from basically moving up a league, becoming sacked, losing reputation, gaining reputation. And we've kind of worked it out that if we spin the wheel every 5 seasons, it should take us up to roughly when we are 70 years old in game, which is usually when the managers retire, roughly around then. So we should see majority, if not all, of the outcomes on this. There's some good ones, there's some really bad ones.
This could be fun.
Exactly. So what we're going to do, we're going to simulate the first season and see where our managers end up just after season 1, because in season number 1 is arguably the most interesting season because we're in the same division to begin with. Yes, Oldham and Chesterfield are kind of the two favoured teams to go up this season by reputation. So Oldham in 4th, Chesterfield at 10-1. You're very favoured to go up. You should be going up, especially with how good our manager attributes are compared to the league. So let's simulate it. 1 season, see who comes out on top. Okay, now the good thing is, Dad, we're both still with a job.
Yeah.
Because there is, of course, a point system that we will also be following, which I will explain in a second. But if you do get yourself relegated or you get yourself sacked, that is minus points as well, which, of course, always makes it a little bit more fun and chaotic. So the good thing is we're still at the jobs that we started off with. But did any of us win the league? Because there's points for promotion. There's also points for winning the league as well. Let's go on Oldham Athletic. First in the Vanarama National. And you unfortunately lost on penalties in the playoff final. Conceded in the first minute against Bromley there and got, unfortunately, done on penalties after finishing in second place. So 8 points behind me there.
Yeah, we'll go 4 hours above them, 12 points.
I know. So we were the two best teams in the league.
Robbed.
But I already pick up quite a lovely little 4 points there for winning the league. It's 2 points for promotion, 4 points for winning the league. But if you win a division in the top flight of any league, it's 6 points. But I'll explain the point system a little bit more as we go along. Now, the good thing is, we're still in the job. We're already developing quite well. There's some attributes here that I can see is going up. Our reputation is only at 2-star to begin with. It's decent. It's not amazing. But that will obviously increase year by year. You're only 1 year to begin with. So we're going to go 4 years into the future, which means we are 5 years in, and that's when we are going to spin the wheel for the very first time. But of course, the points could have changed completely by then. One of us could be rocking in the Premier League. One of us could be completely unemployed, and it looks like our careers are over. That's why this video is going to be so much fun. So I'll see you in a sec. All right, we are in 2028, which is 5 years into the future, or 5 seasons into the future. So we can now find out where our managers are currently situated. Are they still with Oldham and Chesterfield? Neither. Neither. I mean, at least we're both still in a job. What I am noticing is you got a much higher wage budget than I have.
I'm on a lot of money more than compared to you, aren't I?
Yeah, I'm unhappy about that. I am only on £1,500 a week. That is absolutely disgraceful. So let's have a look. Burton Albion, where am I right now? Sky Bet League 2, which when we left, I was about to go into Sky Bet League 2.
Yeah.
However, I have just gained promotion from Sky Bet League 2. So I know I'm... Oh, how annoying is
Joint
that?
top.
By one goal.
You
One
lost
goal.
points to that because of that one goal.
Yeah, I lost 2 points because of that. Oldham, by the way, 22nd place.
Yeah?
That is one of our teams.
you-
Can't see Chesterfield.
You made an improvement there then.
Yeah, so I don't know where you were. So let's have a look then. We are obviously the manager of Burton. Have we been here for a while? So 2026 up until now. So I've been here about 2 and a bit seasons, depending on when I took over. But if we're looking at the milestones, of course, I was champions in that first season, which was the 4 points, but only promotion this season, which is another 2. So I'm currently rocking 6 points. But Dad, I didn't see Cardiff in that league.
No, I didn't.
Depending on how long you've been manager of Cardiff, you might have obviously got a couple of extra promotions there. So, on the staff shortlist, Omega Dad, currently manager of Cardiff, who are situated first in the championship,
Oh, get it.
which means you've just been promoted to the Premier League. Woohoo! Oh, in the big leagues already.
That's why I'm on 12 grand a week, isn't it?
That's probably why, exactly. So 90 points this season. You've had a really good time. How long you been there? So about a season, possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, development-wise, your attributes look absolutely incredible, and you're up to 3-star
stars, I am.
reputation. But that could all change when we get to the wheel, of course, because there is some landing on the wheel where it will obviously decimate that reputation, which could be obviously detrimental to your managerial career. Milestones. Right, well, champions of the Vanarama National League the
So I took
season
Chesterfield
after.
up then. I'm pleased with that.
Sky Bet League 2 the season
promotions.
after. Back-to-back champions.
Oh, get in.
Then, this season, champions with Cardiff, which means 3 lots of champions, 3 lots of the, what is it, 4 points?
Yeah.
So 3 lots of the 4 points. You're on 12 points already. So the total score after the first 5 seasons is Omega Dad with 12 and Luke with 6. And I think, yeah, although you had a slower start, hey, you're going into Premier League football next season with
in.
Cardiff. Or are you?
Oh, yeah.
Let's have a look to the wheel. Right now, of course, the wheel of doom in terms of this managerial career. Some of them are great, though. Some of them are really good. Maximum reputation's obviously fantastic. Make all of your attributes 20 out of 20. We can even move the world's best player to the club, or you could lose a player. So I do think there's more positives than negatives on here.
Yeah, there is, I think, yeah.
You're going first because you have more points.
All right. I could
So
with
let's
I could
spin
do
the
with
wheel.
The 500 million.
And whatever it
transfer
lands on
budget.
as well gets taken off.
Right, okay.
So, yeah, 500 mil trans budget's massive.
That'd be
yeah.
brilliant, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Let's find out and see what you think about the very first spin of the wheel for your managerial career.
no. Oh, no.
Other manager chooses managerless club to take over.
So I won't be in the Premier League next
You
season.
won't be the manager of Cardiff going into the Premier League next season because I'm deciding where you are going to go. Now, if we're looking at clubs that are currently managerless, this was probably the worst one for you to get at this point in
Yeah,
your
it was,
career. Because there is even a club that has just been relegated from Sky Bet League 2, which means they are going back down to the Vanarama National League. Guess where you're headed, Omega Dad? Swindon Town. That's right. Omega Dad is now going to be the manager of Swindon Town, going back down to the Vanarama National League. And everybody's going to hate me on this channel, and I absolutely love it. I might be a heel on this, but that is absolutely fine with me. Look who else is there. Burton Albion. Oh, who's manager of them? That's me. I'm going up a division, which means there's 2 divisions between us right now. Unless, of course, the wheel is incredibly generous to me. So we'll have to find out. Let's spin the wheel and see what I land on. Now, the wheel was very harsh for you, Dad, in that first spin. You could have really done
I hate
without
the
that
wheel.
one.
I hate the wheel.
But how generous is it going to be for when I spin the wheel? Are we going to land on something good or are we going to land on something bad? Move the world's best player to...
I don't believe this. Have you fixed this? Have you got a button or something in there? You bloody fixed this, didn't you?
Burton Albion is now going to have the world's best player at the club, which if is going to be on current ability. It could be somebody like Mbappe or Erling Haaland. We're going to have a look because this is going to be quite funny to see them in a Burton Albion shirt. So we'll remove that one and we'll move them across. Well, if we're looking at this by current ability, 197 is Kylian Mbappe. So Kylian Mbappe now is going to be moved to another club, and that club is going to be Burton Albion. So Burton Albion now have Kylian Mbappe for free, might I add. That is happening. So there we go. He looks lovely in yellow, it must be said. And he's going to really enjoy his time with me at the helm.
You see what his transfer value
as
is
we
now?
go into Sky Bet League One. He's now worth £19 million. But hey.
Oh, dear.
So 29-year-old Kylian Mbappe is going to be tearing it up in Sky Bet League One, and I really hope he can help us get back into Sky Bet, well, the Championship. And while you obviously need to get yourself out of the Vanarama National League, but you've got 5 years to do it before, of course, we spin that wheel again. So let's see what happens within these 5 years. Right, Dad, we're back. It's been 10 seasons now. And as you can see, we are at Ipswich Town and Bournemouth, who were very close together as it goes, because in the Championship, I have just won the Championship, but you finished in the playoff spots and lost, unfortunately, in the playoff final.
God, that's twice I've lost in the playoff finals.
However, all is not lost for you, Dad, because of course I sent you back to Swindon Town very harshly. But that actually kind of worked in your favour, and maybe it's something that I needed to think about a little bit more, because you went directly as champions and got yourself promoted, which means of course you get an extra points. Then the season after, you actually got promoted again, so another time where it was back-to-back promotions that you managed to pick up.
Thank you very much.
So I shot myself in the foot a little bit. Then you left to become the manager of Wigan, who are currently in Sky Bet League One. But then after a short period of time, the June of 2030 to January, so only 6 months really in the job, you were then hired as the Ipswich Town manager, which was 2 seasons ago.
Right.
So you haven't gone up or down in 2 seasons. You've obviously come very close, but not this season. And I've had a bit of a different story. Now, of course, when we last met, I was given the best player in the world, which was Kylian Mbappe. So Kylian Mbappe was a Burton Albion player at some point. I can tell you now, he isn't a Burton Albion player anymore. He is now at Chelsea at 34. He only had 1 season on a free transfer. He then left the club and went to Saudi Arabia. So
28 goals out of him.
Yeah, he did all right, did he?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's one of his biggest milestones, that he got Burton promoted. There we go. Sky Bet League One champions promoted, which means, of course, I also won that. In the same year, he won the UEFA Nations League for France. So absolutely sublime stuff for Kylian Mbappe in a Burton Albion shirt. But if we're looking at the milestones that my manager did, yes, we did manage to get that second place finish. Actually, I might have already left by then. 2028, I think I left. Yeah, I didn't even get to be his manager. So if anything, it didn't really matter that he left after 1 season, because I was hired in that season as the Bristol City manager. So I left Kylian Mbappe. They just be like, this guy's unbelievable at Burton. Forgetting that I had Kylian Mbappe, went to Bristol City, then left after 3 seasons, staying around in the same division as the Bournemouth manager, which was about 2 seasons ago, who were in the Premier League. They were then relegated last season. Yeah, so I get minus points for that, which is annoying, but I did then get them promoted back as champions, so we're kind of on track again.
Yeah,
but it has meant that in the last 5 seasons, I've got a grand total of -1 point. Because relegation is -5 points. And then, of course, a league win, which isn't the top division, is only 4 points. So I actually get -1. Whereas, Dad, you've had 2 promotions. One of them was champions and one of them
done well.
wasn't.
Yeah.
You've gained 6 points. So somehow, even though you had one of the worst things that you could potentially get because of the wheel, you've come out smelling of roses with 18 points in total now.
There you go, mate. See?
Yeah. So as it stands right now, we're 10 years in. Dad is whipping me 5 to 18 in terms of the points. But I'm now in the Premier League and you're in the Championship. But that's kind of an advantage more for you.
I think it is.
But will it stay that way?
That's right.
Because now we've
the
got
fun
to
starts again.
spin the wheel once again and see how our managerial careers go next. Okay, so I'll be spinning the wheel first this time round. Now, if we're looking at all the other options that are on the screen, there obviously are quite a few bad ones that we could potentially get. Of course, there are some amazing ones that we could potentially get. Instant unemployment. To be honest, if it landed on that, I wouldn't be too mad. Because it means I might avoid relegation.
Yeah.
So let's get this a bit of a spin and see where it ends up.
Come on, be
As we
nasty
spin
for a
the wheel
change. Be nasty for a
after
change.
10
Come on.
seasons. I mean, it's not the end of the world.
No, it's
It
not.
could have been a lot worse. But losing my best player, going into the Premier League, which means hopefully there's money there to replace him anyway, but he goes on a free transfer. We just straight up cancel his contract. I will be losing my best player. But let's see what you're going to get, Dad. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? And will it determine what
Come on,
you
be a
do
good
for
one.
the next 5 seasons?
Takeover.
So it's
What is
a
it?
takeover a club without a manager. So this time you get to pick whatever club.
That could be good,
It
Freddie.
could be really good.
Yeah, it could be.
So you've had both of the ones where you had to take a club which didn't have a manager. So I guess let's get on with completing what the wheel has told us to do. Okay, we're looking at the current ability of Bournemouth's best player, and that is Alex Scott, which actually is quite a bad one because he is so good in so many different positions. So now he, unfortunately, has his contract completely terminated. I've lost my best player going into the Premier League, which is not great, obviously. But Dad, let's have a look at what job you wish to now take over, because if we're having a look at the job centre at managers, you get to pick. And this is kind of, I mean, I know where it's going, but this is kind of revenge for obviously me making you be the manager of Swindon Town going into the Vanarama National League just 5 seasons ago. Because I'm sure enough, I know exactly where you're going. It's Bolton, isn't it?
Gotta be in it.
Yeah, Bolton. Sky Bet League 1, getting relegated into Sky Bet League 2. I mean, it's an obvious choice right there. I can't see another club that you would rather go to other than Bolton.
What about if we went on present form? As we're recording now, present form, where would I go?
True, Forest. Forest is a great option to go for. It has to be Forest. You're right.
Bolton and Forest.
I mean, they're going down into the Championship, so I'll do that right now, and I'll make you manager of Nottingham Forest.
Man City, mate.
Oh,
Yeah.
what a cop-out, eh?
I'm just sorry that probably Erling Haaland's not there anymore.
Oh, you just tell everybody used to like you on this channel. Everybody used to like, now they're like, boo, that is a horrendous decision. So now, of course, you are now going to be the manager of Manchester City. So let's move you across. We go to staff shortlist right there. And make a Dad move to another club. And if we type in City, hopefully, there they are. Manchester City.
Oh, thank you.
Disappointed in that decision. Aren't you guys? Yeah, I would be too. That's a really poor decision from you. Never mind. Look at all the amazing
Do
clubs.
I look concerned?
Look at all the amazing
a
clubs
face
that
of concern?
that you have been manager of in your previous career. And you chose to go to Manchester City.
Well, there you go, son. This is what happens when you just bide your time, and it'll come naturally to the ones who deserve it.
I hope you're sacked in the next 5 years. That's the only bad thing. They've got a
Yes.
very good reputation.
Yeah,
and
I
you
know.
haven't right now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So-
I just got up that players do it for me.
Any little slip up, and we could be seeing a sacking, which of course is a really good amount of minus points.
I'll just take the Champions League. I'll just take it.
I mean, they still have some great players. This is their
Yeah.
key player. He looks all right, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Colombian. I guess Erling Haaland is still around. I know we're only 10 years into the future, but
They got Archie
surely
Gray.
enough. They got Diogo Costa.
Go.
Camavinga's
go
there.
wrong.
Jean Neves. Phil Foden's still there. Still haven't seen Erling Haaland.
No, I think he's gone.
I can't believe this. He never leaves the club.
I think he's gone.
Erling Haaland is at Barcelona. Wow. That never happens. He's only just left
On a
as
free.
well.
Oh, that's typical. Isn't it?
Hilarious. Would you have still chose Man City if you knew that?
Yes, of course I would have.
Fair enough. Well, let's see
got,
then.
They got Archie Gray there. Of course I would.
Yeah, Archie Gray. Yeah, that's the reason why you picked Man City. Of course. Yeah, over Bolton. Not a big JJ Kocher fan, Dad is, but Archie Gray, absolutely.
Hey, that guy's doing wonders at Spurs at the moment. He's playing everywhere.
That's because he has to. There's no other option. All right, 5 seasons then. Let's see what happens with the next 5 years. Now that we're both in the Premier League, because Dad, of course, was playing a little bit of catch up, even though he is smashing me on points. Okay, season 15. As you can see, Dad is currently manager of PSG. I mean, that's an easy few points, 8 points every time, isn't it? 'Cause
I'm winning the league here.
you
Every
should be
season
winning
I'm
the
there, I've
league,
got to be
yeah.
winning the league, yeah.
However, I don't have a club job. I have an international job. Right before a World Cup. Right before we're about to spin the wheel and ruin my chances of winning a World Cup with England. Yeah. Now, I have been elsewhere other than Bournemouth. So I took Bournemouth back into the Premier League as we've seen here. Champions promoted. Departed the next season by the looks of it, or the season after. So I managed to keep them up, didn't get relegated. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Hired as the Chelsea manager, and in one season, I won the Carabao Cup and FA Cup. Lovely stuff. That's really good. 6 points each time. Then I've just been hired as the England manager 2 seasons ago. Now, the best thing about
season, eh?
being the England manager is that obviously you get a crack at the World Cup, which is a good amount of points. The worst thing is you don't get any of the points for anything else.
So you lost out all the cups and things like that, no?
Yeah, all the cup competitions that I could have been winning, I haven't been. Which means if we're looking at the actual points tally, the 12 that I've had added on to the 5 I already had means I've now got 17 points. Of course, Dad had 18 points before we left. But to be honest,
I'm only at PSG for one reason, because I'm a winner.
yeah,
I've got to be a winner. Somewhere along the line, I've won something.
it hasn't gone well for me, this, because Dad has won multiple, and I mean multiple, Champions Leagues. There's one there for the PSG side. Oh no, Man City. In fact, you won the Champions League 3 times just with Manchester City.
That's what I said I was going to do. That's what
They've-
they hired me for.
In fact, and this is how annoying it is. The season I left Chelsea,
They won the
they
Champions
won the
League.
Champions League.
And I got to the final.
And you got to the final. So you won it 3 years in a row. Those are the 3 years there. Then you left to go to PSG. I left to go to Chelsea. Chelsea won the Champions League. Brilliant. So not only did Dad win the Champions League 3 times, which by the way is 15 points each time, which remember, just one of them only puts him 2 behind my total points, as it was anyway. You also won the league twice already with PSG. The Premier League champions there. And I think, Premier League champions there. So 4 times Premier League or top division champions, which is 8 points, which is 32. There's quite a lot of points going on right now. So going into the season 16, as we spin the wheel, Dad's points for the last 5 seasons alone was 77, which means his total points is now 95. So the points tally is Omega Luke with 17 and Dad with 95 points.
Oh, thank you. How well did this go? I bet you wish you didn't send me to Swindon now.
It all started with that Swindon move, didn't it?
It looks so bad, but, well, it just
Yeah.
changed my life.
It really did. The talk about backfiring, that is a monumental level, the amount of backfiring there. But anyway, I've got to hope that with a spin of the wheel, 1, I don't lose my job as England manager because we're in the World Cup, and the World Cup does get you 25 points if you win the World Cup. That's the maximum amount you can get, because obviously it's once every 4 years. But I've just got to hope that Dad lands on something so bad
You got to hope that I get away from PSG.
Yeah, unemployment, something like
Yeah.
that. Because the last two is really backfired on me.
I could do like a nice 400 million bonus.
Oh, yeah, you really need it. Really, really
Well,
need it.
PSG not very good at in the Champions League, are they? So I've got to get him into that as well then, really, ain't I?
Oh, right. Let's head over to the wheel and spin it. All right, then, Dad, this time you are spinning first.
Yep.
There's a couple of really bad ones. Drop down a division would be hilarious.
Yeah, it would be with PSG,
That would be
wouldn't it?
really good.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't be going with PSG. You're going to drop down to a club in that division. We're not dropping PSG down. We're dropping you down. But obviously, there's like reputations.
Yeah.
Lose 2-star in reputation, so that'd be quite
could mess
bad.
me up, yeah.
Lose 1-star reputation. Let's see what you get. Come on, please. Just be something horrendously negative. Back to the bloody Premier League. So, outside of the top 6.
Outside the top 6.
You get to choose a team
Ooh.
outside of the top 6, not as we know it as the big 6. We're looking at the Premier League, and any club outside of the top 6 you can choose. So it could be a Chelsea, Arsenal, whoever's dropped in. We are 15 years in there.
Could be Man City again.
Yeah, they might have gone that bad, even though they just won the Champions
No,
League.
you never know.
So
I'll
we'll
take
remove that one. That's
I'll
not a
take
bad
that.
one, is
No,
it?
that's a good one, yeah. Yeah.
Not a bad one. Let's go out of a side-based move, I think, because although you could just be quite easily winning the French league each year, not much fun, is it? I just got to hope that I don't get anything that means I have to leave England right now, because else that 2 years is just completely wasted.
Instant unemployment would be
That'll
so
be
funny.
Hilarious, but also terrible. I could do with the reputation increase.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could really deal with, because the rest of it, I mean, add £500 million trans budget to
To mean
what?
nothing to you, yeah.
To what? There's also one on there that makes manager of England. That would have been hilarious if you got that one, by the
Yeah.
way. You were close to that.
I know.
You
When
were
I seen
very
it going
close
there,
to
I
that.
thought, you're going to get unemployed here.
Because if you got the England job, right as I did all the dirty work, getting them to the World Cup, I think I'd have just cried and we'd have binned this video off. But anyway,
Here we go.
Spinning the wheel. What happens?
You're not the England manager anymore?
No, I can't drop down a division.
Oh, right.
So it
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
count.
It's a waste one, isn't it?
Yeah,
And the next one
cannot
will be
drop
a
down
waste
a
one.
division. Now, I'll give you the option. Either we remove it or I spin again until something that I can actually do.
I've got to let you spin again because that means nothing, that one.
All right, fair enough.
You could get a worse one than that.
Unemployment or reputation, that's all we've got to go for. That is absolutely fine. It's annoying that it's a 2-star one, but that is absolutely fine. I'm the England manager. If I win the World Cup with England, that reputation goes right back up.
Yeah, true, yeah.
So I've got to take that, lose 2-star reputation. All right, so looking at Omega Luke's profile, we can see I am a 4.5-star reputation manager, which is actually that's higher than
quite
what I
good.
expected
Yeah.
it to be. It won't be that much anymore. So if we're looking at staff details, this is what affects it here, the world reputation of 8,000. So I'm guessing roughly either 5 would be 2.5. So let's see how much that affects. That's 3. So I need to go down a little bit more further until it reaches 2.5. So I'm guessing if I go 4,900, that would be 2.5. That's what I'm kind of... Yeah, there we go. So 2.5-star reputation. Happy with that?
Yep.
I'm not. But let's have a look then, Dad. So we've got to go now to a Premier League club for you to pick. Now, who's won the Premier League is Chelsea, my old club. Manchester City's there. So outside of the top 6, the first one, ironically, is Spurs. Will you pick Spurs, or are they just too Spursy for you to pick? This could be the ultimate throwaway.
Don't just put my name with Spurs. You know I'm going to do it.
Are you sure?
100%.
You know what
had
they're
Spurs.
like.
I had Spurs in my head anyway. If they could have been in 15th position, and I would have took Spurs.
Listen, without the viewers realising, you realise that Spurs is that terrible, all right? You know what Spurs... You're a big supporter of Spurs. We know that...
I know, but they need me to help them.
Yeah, but
I'm
we
the
know
man.
what they're like.
No.
You could be 6-0 up in a cup
No,
final
no.
and they'll still
I
Spurs
know.
it up.
Oh,
They'll still
no,
be.
no,
They'll
not-
still lose 7-6.
They need a proper manager to come in and sort them out. I'm the man. I'll do it.
You said that about Jose Mourinho. You said that about Conte. You also said that about Ange Postecoglou.
No, Conte, I didn't say it so much. Jose Mourinho, I did. I had faith in Jose Mourinho. He let me down.
We could edit this out if you really like.
no,
or are you
no,
sure
no.
you want to be Spurs?
Yeah, right, we'll do Spurs. I'm happy with that.
He's wannabe Spurs.
I'm going to be Spurs, yeah.
Good God. Fair enough. All right. Omega Dad is now moving to Spurs. Let's move him across to another club, Tottenham Hotspur. He's adamant, he's sure there was other clubs there, Newcastle, Wolves, but no, he is the manager of Tottenham Hotspur now. Marco Rose was the manager. And if Marco Rose can't even get them on there, who's the most overpowered manager on this game, into the top 6, then we've got something to be worried about. Let's have a little look-see,
Have you
actually.
seen what my reputation is?
Yeah, it's quite big.
I'm the man for this job.
Let's have a little look-see at their manager history. You've had Unai Emery sacked after 4 years. Marco Rose actually was sacked again here. And then he got the job back for 2 years. So I don't know why he managed to get the job back after being sacked. But hey, it ain't looking good. Unai Emery.
They've had a few cup wins.
They've had a couple of cup wins. FA Cups.
Yeah.
FA Cup, Community Shield, Carabao Cup,
See, on
UEFA
the
Conference League.
The other bracket where it says league wins, we'll be putting a few in there.
Zilch.
We'll be putting a few in there, I can tell you.
We'll see. Let's
Yeah.
go 5 years into the future then and see if Dad has made the ultimate mistake. Well, some unexpected winners in the World Cup, Dad. Spain, 3rd place, 3 times in a row in the World Cup. But when I was manager of England, Germany won the World Cup with Argentina in the runners-up position. That was placed in South Africa. And then Japan won the most recent World Cup with Northern Ireland. Getting
Two
to the
surprises.
Yeah.
2 surprises.
To the runners-up.
Well done. Well done to both of them.
Fantastic stuff. However, was I the manager of England at the time? No, it was in England as well. Which, imagine it, yeah.
Japan won the World Cup in England. Oh, that's
yeah.
bad, isn't
Northern
it?
Ireland got to the final in England.
Oh, but they loved that.
Oh God, yeah. Now, hilariously, no, I had already left, unfortunately, and currently I do have a job, but you don't.
Oh, no, that's not good, is
Oh yeah, this is funny. You are wanted by West Ham though.
it? Right.
So you might become a Hammer anytime soon. We are, of course, now 50 years old. So we've still got roughly about 20 years to go, I reckon, before they start packing it in. Sometimes it's a little earlier, depending on how well you're actually doing.
Yeah.
I've got to hope that you have to retire really early, and then it gives me a load of time to catch up. But I'm currently the manager of Fulham. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Let's find out. So, Fulham, as we can see, there has been more managers since. I went back to Bournemouth. I also went to Manchester United.
And you didn't win nothing.
No. In fact, I was hired as Manchester United manager in 2040 and I was sacked in 2041. I lasted a year and then I was sacked. And then guess what? I was hired as the manager of Fulham and I was relegated from the Premier League.
Well, she lost points again.
So I lost -10 for being sacked by Manchester United. And then I lost -5 points from being relegated with Fulham. And then I only gained a couple of points back because I finished second in the championship. So I've actually got minus points at this stage. I've in fact
brilliant.
got -13 points taken away from my 17 points I already had. So I have landed on 4 points after 20 seasons. What an unbelievable career I am having so far. Now, it doesn't say sacked, but I reckon it was a mutual decision. I was resigned as the manager of England after a run of bad results, which tells me I was forced out, if I'm honest. It was actually straight after that World Cup. So
What to expect?
I know, right? So, looking at that then, it has not been great for me, but you currently don't have a job either. Now, I left Manchester United, and guess who took my job?
Did I? How did I get on at Spurs? That's the big
So-
question. How did I get on at Spurs?
Did you win anything at Spurs? Yes, the Europa League.
Oh, I'll take that.
So, you won a Europa League.
I'll take that.
Fair enough. Then you departed as the manager of Tottenham after agreeing terms with another club. You've seen the light. You realised there's bigger and better things.
Right.
And you went to Manchester United,
And I didn't win
where
nothing
you
with
were
them.
sacked.
I lasted 2 years at
Manchester United, 20 years in the
the
future, is still the graveyard of managers to go to.
That's the second time I've been United, and on all these challenges, both times I've done really bad.
Yeah, you do not like going to Manchester
No, I
United.
don't.
As we can see there, me, and that was the caretaker in position. So it went me, then you, Both of us were sacked. Zidane before me. He left, to be fair. He didn't get sacked, but he also only won one thing, which was the Europa League in 3 seasons as well. Then Thomas Tuchel was there. He actually won 11 things. Thomas Tuchel had a very good time.
Yeah, let's hope he's good
At
like
Manchester
that for
United.
England then.
Yeah, absolutely. So he won the likes of the Europa League, the FA Cup, a couple of Europa Leagues, in fact, and a couple of FA Cups. In fact, he won 4 Europa Leagues for Manchester United, but Zidane was also there earlier and
Yeah.
got sacked. So lots of weird things has been happening at Manchester
He won a
United.
trophy there again, though. So
Europa
every time he come
Conference
back,
League.
he won a trophy from.
Yeah, he won the Europa
So he
Conference
done,
League.
he done better than we did.
Yep. So you left them, Dad, in 6th place, which is where you were sacked. My Fulham, of course, now being promoted from the division below to go into the Premier League next season. You don't have a job, but West Ham are after you.
Right.
Now, West Ham finish in 10th place. They are
That's
currently
okay.
looking for a manager,
Don't mind the Hammers.
but they might not have a chance. They might not have a choice, depending on how
How
the wheel goes.
Yes.
So looking at your points, Dad, you had absolutely 0.
Right.
Because, of course, with the sacking that you had, that was -10. But with the Europa Cup win, which was 10, those are the only things that you actually did. It cancelled each other out.
I'm a little bit in front of you, so I'm quite happy.
Yeah, it's 94 for Dad, 4 for Luke. So one person's career is going a lot better than the other. And, of course, the last time we looked at this, I had my reputation completely ruined. It's kind of got back.
Almost there again,
A
yeah.
star up from where it was previously. You, Dad, are 5-star as a manager. So there's
You
no
can see
reason
why
why
West Ham.
are
Yeah.
coming for you, yeah. So let's have a look then at the wheel, because it's Dad's time to spin first. It is actually my turn to spin first. We've just looked back on the footage. You spun last time. Okay, so out of this, make all attributes good. That would be great. Take over Premier League champions. That's that one there. So that would be really good for me.
Yeah.
Max reputation would be very handy.
get it
There
back,
are
yeah.
a couple of really good ones. Move up a division. I mean, well, I'm in the championship at the minute. Although I'm getting promoted, I could go up a division, so that's fine. Move down a division is not good at all. Move the same reputation club. Add £500 million the transfer budget. There are some really good ones here.
Yeah.
There's also instant unemployment, which is not going to be great. Make manager of England would be quite hilarious. But let's see. We'll spin the wheel and see when I end up on 20 years into my managerial career. Move up a division. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So I get to pick a club from the division above. Which...
What, any team or
Yeah, any team. We haven't
Right.
put any restrictions on that
Okay
one.
then, yeah.
Well, obviously, we had Premier League top 6.
Yeah.
This one, because it could have been, we could have picked this up when we were in the lower leagues.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
We've just got move up a division. So
It's gonna be
I can pick.
That's a good one for you, really.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Maybe I'll go back to Manchester United and redeem myself.
Take it with Spurs.
God, what that would be awful. What a way to ruin my career. All right, remove that one. Dad, spinning the wheel.
Right, go on then.
Let's have a look. Let's see what you're
Come
going
on,
to get
be good to
for
me.
your manager. Let's even this out.
Make the manager of England. That's good for you.
That is good for me. Only one thing you can win every 2 years. So within the next 5 seasons, you either been sacked or you could have won a maximum. To be fair, you could have won a maximum of 45 points.
Right.
If you win the Euros and the World Cup.
Right.
Within that time.
I think the Euros are in my grasp, I think.
I mean, there could actually be more Euros. Or World Cup. Depending on, obviously, where it falls,
Yeah.
you could have multiple tournaments. So you could win quite a lot. But you are now going to be the manager of England, despite, obviously, being unemployed and West Ham being after you right now. So... let's plug all that in. Now, it was an obvious choice what I was going to do. Manchester City. I have just become the manager of Manchester City. I took Marco Rose's job for the second time. He's
Shit.
lost his job after
He
Dad
probably hates
pitched
us
it
now.
from Spurs. Yeah. But there we go. So Manchester City won the league, 84 points by 10 points there to Brighton and Liverpool.
Yeah.
So I've decided to become their manager. Yeah. And let's hope, of course, they can win some Champions Leagues and stuff. They've won 9 in total since this has started because that has been completely dominated by English clubs, so you can see. PSG won it, funny
Yeah.
enough, the season after Dad left. to become, obviously, Tottenham manager, wherever it was.
And they won it at Wembley as well.
Yeah, so they, right after you left them, they became champions of Europe. But
All right.
Chelsea have won it a couple of
take
times, City, and now Liverpool have just recently won it.
Should you have took the Liverpool job?
No, I think
Reigning
I'm
champions?
being smart because City are more likely to win Premier Leagues than Champions Leagues. Champions Leagues is a lottery. It's very difficult to win.
I mean, Liverpool could be on the way up now.
Yeah, but
You
Man
don't
City
know,
just
yeah.
won the league by 10 points. Like, we got to really think that they're going to throw something away there if that's no good. Funny
Just all
enough,
of a
they-
sudden become a Scouser.
Yeah.
Come on, Liverpool.
they weirdly have a player that's kind of like Kevin De Bruyne because he's Belgian, 32.
Yeah.
He is their best player, although he's more of a striker / attacking midfielder than attacking midfielder. But he has very similar attributes as well. Dad, we have moved you to become the manager of England.
Oh, I think that's right. I'm the best man for the job.
Well-
best manager in this country.
Yeah, one of the highest reputation
Well,
managers
there you
in the
go.
world. Unai Emery was currently the manager
Yeah.
of England before Dad
So
took
the
over.
FA have come to their senses and they've hired the best man for the job. I will do the job for you.
He
Don't you
was
worry. I will
just
be bringing a
sacked.
trophy back for you.
From Manchester United. All right, so in terms of points then, it is a bit of a landslide win at the minute. 97 points to 4. 97 points to 4. However, with you becoming the England manager, only
Yeah,
being able to win a
can't win the-
trophy
can't
every
win the-
2 years,
But they're big points. I've
But
only got to win one of them.
I
That's
could
big
be
points.
winning trebles each
Yeah.
year. That could be the upside of this. And we're only halfway through, hopefully. We're 20 years in. This could go another 20 years. Let's go 5 more and find out. Oh boy, has a lot happened in 5 years.
Yep.
As we can see here, Omega Dad, you are now the manager of Chelsea.
Yeah.
So England didn't last too long.
Oh, did they? Or didn't they?
Or yeah, or maybe not. I am now the manager of Newcastle. And if you're going from Manchester City as champions to Newcastle, something along the lines has not gone right for you. Boy, has it not. Let's have a look at Dad's first. So you are now the manager of Chelsea,
Yeah.
but if we're looking at the milestones, what happened? So you became the England manager there. You
43.
resigned the year after.
Exactly a year.
Right after the World Cup. Or the Euros,
Yeah,
one of the two.
I think it was Euros. I didn't have a good Euros tournament. mate.
No.
The players let me down badly. As I'd said,
Talk as if he's there. Like.
I talked to the FA and said, look, they're just not performing, so I've got to make a move.
Yeah, so you resigned, of
Yeah.
course. But you were hired as the Aston Villa manager later on in the year, 6
Yeah.
months later. You then won the FA Cup with Villa.
There you go.
Took you 2 seasons.
Back in the winning ways again.
But yeah, you got 6 points from that.
I'm happy with that.
Then you departed Villa to become the manager of Chelsea,
Yeah.
which you've now been at for a year, and they haven't won anything since.
They haven't sacked me yet, so I must be doing a good job.
Speaking of doing good jobs, let's have a look to see what I have done in the 5 years. Oh, God. After becoming the Manchester City manager, I was sacked in the same year.
6 months.
6 months I lasted. After all that talk.
What a
of
lovely Christmas present.
getting, and then the new year. Happy New Year, Luke. Here's the Tottenham job.
See, I told you you'd go there.
Yeah. And then guess what? Sacked again. Straight off, minus 20 points.
They sussed you out straight away, didn't they?
Yeah.
Got rid of you.
Minus 20 points immediately within 2 seasons. Yeah, 2 years. Thankfully, since then, it has been good. So as we can see here, I was hired as the Porto manager, so I've off to Portugal. That's quite nice. Allianz Cup winners, that's a domestic cup. The league champions, so that's great. That's another 8
Yeah,
points.
well done.
Taça de Portugal, again, that's another domestic cup. We don't count Super Cups, so that's 2 domestic cups and a league, which is 8 points for the domestic league win and 6 points each for the cups. So that's lovely. So that's 20 points. I broke even again. Good stuff. But then I've now won another 2 trophies as the Newcastle manager in 2 years as well, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's another 12 points plus a Europa League win. And the Europa League is 10 points. So that actually gives me 22 points for this season.
Is that your best season ever?
That is my best season ever.
Yeah.
And it means I am now on 26 points.
36.
Come on. No,
36.
26. That's counted wrong.
Oh,
Yeah. 26 points because I was broke even. Then I won
right, okay, yeah.
the 12 plus 10 for winning the Europa League. So I did gain a little bit on you.
Yeah, you did, yeah. Yeah.
Not as much as what I was hoping.
Well, I get 6 points because I won the FA Cup, didn't I?
Yeah, so you're now gone up to 101 points. So the total score is Dad with 101 and Luke with 26. So, yeah. Quarter of the way.
I think you need a miracle.
I do, yeah. Or I need something from the wheel.
You could, if you get into a good team. I mean, you got a good side now by the looks of it. You won the Europa League.
Yeah, so Newcastle, they're 8th in the league, but I did just get Champions League football because of that Europa League win. Manchester City are still winning the league.
You pick up the £500 million bonus now. You could have a hell of a side on your hands.
Yeah, you finished second, Dad, in the league.
Oh, I'll take it. I could do with 500 million then, couldn't I?
Yeah. Right, so let's spin the wheel and see what happens. Does it give me anything so I can gain some points on Dad? All right, Dad, so we are about 15 seasons left.
Yeah.
Instant unemployment would be the best one for you to get for me.
There's only one or two that looks good on that.
Oh, drop down a division would be quite
I know,
funny.
that's a bad one. I could do with the 500. Max reputation, I've already got it, I think, haven't I?
Yeah, you have, yeah. So that one wouldn't count. We'd have to spin again because that was the rules you made me do.
Right, let's go.
Remember?
Let's go then.
Spin the wheel. Dad is up first. What one does he get on the list? Oh, for God's sake. Make all attributes max. That's very frustrating. Like, you need it. But there we go. That was one of the only good ones left.
Makes a change of this build to be good for me.
Oh yeah, because you really needed it. Let's have a look. We'll spin again. Take over Premier League champions would be quite funny. Guess who's coming back to Manchester City? He's got 2 thumbs and it's this guy. Right, let's plug it in, see what happens. All right, so we've made you maxed out, Dad. It wasn't far off it anyway, so we didn't have to change too much. But 20s all around, even a really good goalkeeping coach as well now. So, right, that's you set to max, and I think what we'll have to do, of course, is to freeze the attributes so they don't change, so that's only fair. Now, going over to myself, I have to become the manager of the Premier League champions. I was actually enjoying my time at Newcastle, and I'm back up to 5-star reputation, which is kind of nice. But no, we are moving to another club. It's Second Chance City, and for the second wheel spin in a row, it ends up with me becoming the manager of Manchester City. So there we go. Joe Morrell is going to be sacked right now because Omega Luke is in for the second time. We're 25 years into the future. What happens after 30 years? Well, what happens is that Dad is Manchester City manager. I can't catch a break here. Because there's no way that I've decided to leave amicably with Manchester City to become the manager of Brighton after them being Premier League champions. So, Dad, let's have a look at you first. Manchester City manager. Of course, you were at Chelsea.
Yep.
Now, how have things been looking for you? Yes, you've been there for 3 years. Oh, so many
Look at the
trophies.
winners. Look at those winners.
Oh, I love the trophies.
Oh, Europa League winner, Super Cup winner, Carabao Cup winner twice,
Carabao twice.
Premier League champions,
and FA Cup.
Oh, just keep bringing them in.
Hired as the Manchester City manager in 2050, which means if I did stay for as long as possible, it would have been 2 seasons. Is that enough to win a Champions League? To win the Premier League? Well, there's only one way to find out, because Omega Luke has won not a lot. FA Cup, that's it. Because the Club World Cup we're not really counting. So, as it stands, Dad, you've gained a lot of points there.
I have, yeah.
Because all I've managed to do is get the FA Cup, and I was sacked from Manchester City, which of course means I've got minus 10 points again. Really good. Really solid stuff. So let's have a look at the points then. Dad, I have managed to accumulate minus 4. Whereas you, in total, have got 36 points from that very small period of time, the 5 years. And now you're sat on 137, whereas I am sat on 22. So you're 100 points above me. But there's still time.
You need me to get sacked every season, though,
I
don't
do,
you?
yeah. There's still time. I've got 10 years. The trouble is as well, if you're looking at your attributes as well, which of course are all still 20. You landed on the jackpot there. Mine aren't, and there's still obviously a spin of the wheel.
So any jobs come up that sort of anything decent, people are going to be chasing me, really, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I don't think are they going to be
Not that
able
I'm gonna
to
go
pull you
anywhere.
away?
Yeah, so I don't want
That's
to
the
go
trouble.
anywhere.
You're just going to continue to
Yeah.
stay there and win trophies unless the wheel has anything to do with it. Let's find out. All right, so I'm going first this time round, which I'm kind of glad with because it means there's less likeliness
Yeah.
of me landing on something really bad. But I mean, to be fair, there's 3 that are good on there, 2 really bad, 1 that's not too bad at all. Lose 1-star reputation.
Yeah.
We could deal with that at
Both of
this
us can deal
point.
with that one, yeah.
But instant unemployment,
That's a bad one.
that's bad.
Drop down a division.
Drop down a division's even funnier. So move to the same reputation. We're 5-star. That would be buzzing for me. That would be that. I genuinely think that would be the best one for me.
Yeah.
So I'm spinning the wheel first this time around. Let's see what I get. I really hope I get that one because that would be perfect. It's gonna be, by the looks of it, maximum reputation, which I think I almost have. Now we would normally spin the wheel, but we've got to land on something. So I think we allow that, and I just put it up to 999 out of whatever it is. But let's spin the wheel for you. It does mean that a good one has been taken away, so a bad one is available, which I'm
one
happy
green
with.
on there. I want the one green. Come on.
Oh,
Come on. Come on. Oh.
right. Okay. It's not a bad one.
No, I'll take that one.
It's supposed to be a bad one, but
It didn't now because
exactly.
I can afford to lose that.
So with 1 spin of the wheel left each, it's just 4 options left, which could be absolute zingers, could be quite bad. All right, so I think for the first time, we're not worrying about the clubs that we're at all. It's
No.
more just a reputation. Your world reputation, Dad, is maximum
Yep.
at the minute. So we need to bring that down. So as fair as it can possibly be, that is
Half a
a
star.
star. So
You took
bringing you down to
200, so number
7,000 might be enough.
Yeah,
There we
it
go.
is.
7,000 reputation outside of the tool. You lost 3,000 reputation there. How much will I be gaining? If you're at maximum, I'm curious as to see how high up I was. I'm almost there already. Look, that's a shame, innit?
Give you a lot, really, is it?
So, no, we'll do that. There we go. Maximum reputation. I'm at 5-star, but I don't know how much that's going to really achieve anything. Somehow I have almost maximum reputation, despite being sacked multiple times. Also, I've noticed on here, favoured personnel is you. So we haven't set that up in the game or anything, but somehow we're favoured. I was going to say, I hope I'm on your favoured personnel.
yeah, you're my
That'd be
friend.
hilarious if I was. You were on mine. It is like the most hated. Yeah, but there we go. So we're on each other's favourite personnel, which is kind of nice. But all right, 5 more years then, which means we're 35 years into the future with 1 spin of the wheel left. But of course, before we spin the wheel for the final time, we got to see what we have done within those 5 years. So we're at 35 years into the future, Dad. And you're at Southampton.
I thought I'd still been at City, you know.
And I'm at Arsenal.
Oh, both changed. Oh, dear.
Yeah, so let's have a deeper look. We'll go straight away on mine at Arsenal, and I've also been at Ajax. So that was a nice little change.
Yeah.
Nice little flick around there. So I've only just joined Arsenal. Well, the last 2 years, actually, to be fair. But let's have a look. I've won some trophies. However, I was also sacked. As the manager of Brighton.
So you didn't win nothing at Brighton then?
No, I didn't win
After
anything
that?
at Brighton.
No.
Club World Cup winner somehow, though. I mean,
that's
with
not bad.
Brighton, that ain't bad, but
No, that's
considering
right,
oh no, I did that with Man City. I've done that twice now, but God knows how I even qualified for it. Anyway, Ajax manager, was hired as the Ajax manager a few 2 months after. Won the Eredivisie, won the Cup 2 years in a row. Lovely stuff, kind of like what you expect.
Yeah.
Then departed as manager after agreeing to become the Arsenal manager 2 years ago, and I've done nothing since as the Arsenal manager. So, not
I
quite.
don't expect any different from an Arsenal manager.
Yeah, this is it. I haven't exactly fulfilled their destiny there. Right, but let's have a look, Dad. You're at Southampton, of course, which is a bit of a step down, we think, from Manchester City.
But I've been at PSG.
But you've been at PSG in between. So if we look at the milestones, you've actually also won a Champions League.
Get in.
Yeah, annoying. Back-to-back Premier League trophies and an FA Cup. all in one season. So you've done a treble there with Manchester City, and then just left them in the same year to go to PSG.
Hey, done what I could do for them. That's what happens, isn't it?
So you get multiple amounts of points there for the Champions League wins, and of course the FA Cup and the Premier League. You went to France, haven't won a league title in France, which in my eyes should be minus 50 points.
Yeah. 100%. I can't understand why I haven't lost.
Coupe de France winners 2 seasons in a row, but Trophy de Champions is basically their Super Cup, so you haven't won the Ligue 1.
So that's a bit of a disappointment, really. I'm surprised I didn't get sacked by them.
2 years in a row at PSG and not winning the league. But you departed as manager after agreeing with another club, which means both times you weren't sacked, you just agreed to join somebody else. And for some reason, you went from PSG to Southampton. I have no idea why. No idea why. But they're 8th place in the Premier League. Manchester City are still top.
Yeah.
Brighton are 2nd. So I must have done something quite well with Brighton. But Arsenal are below Southampton. What is my life? What is this career? So, looking at the points, Dad, I had a total of 18 points in those 5 years, which puts me up to 40. The minus 10 really didn't help the sacking from Brighton. I did quite well up until that. That would have been a nice little 28-pointer. But no. But Dad, even though it seems like you've had a worse time, 41 points.
It's Champions League. I've done a treble, didn't I, with City, so that's what it was.
41 points, and now you're up to 178 points in total. So you are 138 points ahead of me going into the final 5 years. So unless you get sacked every single season, got a feeling you might have had a better managerial career. But we've got to spin the wheel for the very final time. Let's do that.
This could be a nasty one.
I'm hoping for it. Yeah, there's 4 to choose from.
Yeah.
You're going first as well. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing at this point.
I think that's a good thing because I could take one of the good ones.
You could get 2 of the good ones.
Yeah.
But let's find out. Or you could take...
Come on, Green. Come on, Green.
Stay there.
No.
Drop down a division. Yes.
So do I pick a team?
You pick a team from the Championship that is staying in the Championship next year.
Right.
So you can't pick a relegated side from the Premier League.
Okay.
Has to be a team within, obviously...
So whoever lost the playoff, then I'll take that team.
Yeah.
Without even looking, then whoever lost the playoff team, I'll take them.
All right, deal. Let's have a look. Hopefully, in some kind of financial turmoil. I have got the choice of 3. Instant unemployment is the only bad one. A nice little £500 million, or move to the same reputation club. I'm at Arsenal, probably with 5-star. So that might be quite good. I could just put myself at Man City for the 3rd time. But it's gonna be instant unemployment.
I'm better off than you.
I don't believe it. I don't know if I've had bad luck. Oh, to be fair, I had good luck at the start of this in terms of the spin of the wheel. My manager's just been awful. So there we go. But that's the last 2 spins of the wheel. We never got to see move the same reputation or the add £500 million transfer budget. But let's do what we need to do and get the 5 years over and done with, shall we? All right, so if we're looking at the Championship, the finalist... Argo!
Oh, get in!
That is
so
mental.
weird, isn't it?
Yeah, that is absolutely
I would have picked
crazy.
them as well, wouldn't I?
Yeah. So you'll be the manager of Plymouth Argyle, Dad, which is
What
nice,
a way
our
to
hometown.
finish it.
In your last 5 years, moved to another club. Would you like to type in PLY, please, on the keyboard? Watch this take 10 minutes. There we go. Look at that. There we go. Plymouth. Right. Manager of Plymouth Argyle in the Championship. Lovely stuff, Dad. Fergus Lamont, you're taking his job. Never heard of him.
I must have known this is going to happen, you know.
You wear the Argyle shirt as well?
I've only got my Argo shirt on.
What are the chances of that? Fair enough. And I've got a Man City one up. No, I am. Unemployment, though, for me. So as you're taking over that job, I am having my contract terminated. So I am now unemployed, which doesn't mean I get minus 10 points. But I've got to find a job within the Oh, no. It's killed me off. It's given me instant retirement. So I cannot do it. Oh, no. Right, well, we're just going to see what you do in the next 5 seasons. Unless you get sacked multiple times.
Which I don't mean what happened. I only lose 50 points. I'm 130 off.
Right, let's get it over and done with. Well, let's have a quick look at what I've been up to. Scout. I've been a scout for 3 different teams. A chief scout for Brighton and a director of football for West Ham. So I stuck around in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Preston as well. As a scout who I don't know whether they're in the... There they are at the minute. So they might have been in the Premier League when I was a scout there. But let's see, Dad. You have also retired as well. So, Hull City scout right now. Although your preferred job is director of football. We should really switch, to be honest.
Yeah.
We've got each other's preferred job. Although I am on more money now. Dad, let's have a look, though. What have you been up to? You are also the manager of Preston. 2059-61.
Was you a scout there?
2059 to 61. 59. You hired me.
Oh, there you go. Look after you, don't I?
Look at
really?
that.
See?
I mean, we are best buds by the looks of this. Favourite personnel, we're best buds, even though we're
Well, you couldn't write
technically
this, could you?
rivals. But let's have a look at how things played out for your dad. So on the milestones, of course, you became the manager of Plymouth Argyle. You departed about 6 months later to become the manager of Preston, which is then, of course, where you made the best decision of your managerial career as hiring me as a scout. But then you departed after agreeing to join Brighton. We know that they were quite good.
Yeah.
You won the FA Cup with them,
Get in.
but in the same month, got sacked.
Hey. So what's that? 8 days later, they sacked me after winning the FA Cup.
Yeah.
That's it. The only time I've ever been sacked in this challenge, and it's after I won an FA Cup.
Is it? I'm sure you were sacked at some point.
Was I?
I don't know.
No,
Maybe.
I don't think I have. I don't think I've been sacked.
Have you not? I can't
No.
remember if you have or
I
not.
can't
There's
remember
been so
losing
many.
10 points.
I think I've had so many sackings that I forgot. But there we go. So you were sacked as Brighton, and that is when you quit as a retirement in terms of a manager and became the Aston Villa scout. And now, of course, you're at Hull. You've departed Aston Villa to become the scout at Hull. So in terms of points then, obviously I didn't gain any. I didn't gain any or lose any. But you lost 10
Yeah.
for getting sacked, won 6. So you actually got -4 points within that 5 years.
See, I knew it'd be close.
Yeah, very close. So we're looking at the total points at the end of this whole managerial career. Omega Luke with 40 and Omega Dad with 174. So, yep, you had the better managerial career.
Yeah, I think the wheel worked in my favour this time, didn't it?
Yeah, it definitely did. So
Quite a few times.
good career as well.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Spanning across a lot of different clubs. But there we go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you like these types of videos, maybe we could do it with us being as players.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. Let us know your suggestions down in the comments section, of course. And why not check out this video on screen? Because Dad and I race to the Scottish Premier League, and the full movie is out now for you to binge.